our Wolters Kluwer virtual coffee break. Today we're going to be discussing sales tax compliance. My name is Jessica Kreisinger. I'm one of the partner managers here at Wolters Kluwer in our indirect tax department, and I'm joined by Kelsey Van Artsdalen, one of our senior solution architects in our tax and accounting team. So today we're going to talk about sales tax compliance, and during that discussion we will discuss why now. We'll also get into the benefits of outsourcing, some considerations to look at when you are considering outsourcing, and then we'll talk about how to take your business to the next level with outsourcing. So Kelsey, why don't we start with talking about what does sales tax compliance mean?
Sure. So when you think about sales tax compliance, there are two sides to it. First, there's the calculation side, so knowing where you need to register, what tax to collect, and how you are going to collect it. Then there's the remittance side. So making sure the tax that businesses are collecting from their customers is getting remitted to the states and local jurisdictions. The focus on today's discussion is going to be on the remittance side.
So Kelsey, obviously sales tax compliance isn't a new concept. Why is it important for us to talk about it today?
Right now with COVID-19, we are in unprecedented times, and sales tax compliance may not be at the forefront of businesses' minds. With overall sales being down, state revenue was also being impacted. You may not know this, but sales tax is the second largest source of state and local tax revenue. So states really count on this money to fund their various projects and programs. States have more resources and accesses to systems to research and find information on businesses, making it easier to identify those businesses that may not be compliant. And as a way to increase revenue, states are using audits and their findings as a way to bring more money in.
Okay, so now that we know what's happening on the state side, what should we know about the business side of things?
Sure. On the business side of things, companies are adapting to how they are conducting business. They may be engaging in more remote sales or introducing new product lines. With these changes, there are also risks to think about. Tax rates are constantly changing, as well as taxability of products and services. As a business, are you confident the products you sell are still taxable, or has a new regulation been passed? From a calculation standpoint, an automated tax engine can help with this, but there are also return solutions as well to help decrease the time spent preparing and filing returns. If your business is caught not being compliant, not only are you responsible for the unremitted tax, but there are hefty penalties and interest associated with that as well.
So you mentioned automation and outsourcing. What are some of the benefits of outsourcing?
So our first 2 points here really go hand in hand. If there is an improvement in the compliance accuracy, then you are automatically reducing your audit exposure. Think of the time spent gathering the data, reconciling the data, and actually filing the returns. Not all returns are easy to file. Sure, some are simple one-page returns, but there are several returns that have separate schedules for each local jurisdiction, and then there are even a few states that require a separate return for each locality. Outsourcing can allow businesses to redistribute their talent to focus on higher value tasks. With this extra time, this can also allow businesses to look with fresh eyes across their industry in order to become more competitive. And although there are costs associated with outsourcing, they can be far less than a costly audit.
So obviously outsourcing isn't for everybody. What should companies consider when they're looking at an outsourcing solution?
Well, here we list some industries where it can be pretty tricky to be compliant, and these also happen to be industries that Wolters Kluwer specializes in. I mentioned earlier that businesses may be engaging in more remote sales as a way to adapt to these unprecedented times. Something to be mindful of is being able to track these remote sales so you are aware when economic nexus thresholds are being met. This can result in the need to file new or additional returns that may not have been needed to in the past. Some businesses are introducing new product lines, so making sure these new products or services are being taxed or not taxed appropriately. And then finally, we have sales to exempt customers. Are you receiving the proper documentation from your tax exempt customers? Because this is one of the key things auditors will look at.
So now that a business has kind of looked at their environment and they've decided that they need an outsourcing solution, how can we help them take that to the next level?
So Wolters Kluwer offers a few different returns outsourcing solutions, CCH SureTax returns and managed services. And the beauty in either of these options is that they can be used regardless of how a business is calculating sales tax. So with CCH SureTax returns, the creation of the returns was automated, drastically decreasing the amount of time it takes to prepare returns. Once the returns are generated, they can be signed and mailed to the jurisdiction or used as a guideline to file electronically. We also support EDI and web upload capability for a number of states. And then with the managed services solution, this fully takes the task of filing returns away from the business. A dedicated account manager is assigned, which becomes an extension of your tax department. For businesses with a high volume of returns, think of all the time you would get back if returns filing was no longer a monthly task. And once the filings are completed, compliance may not always end there. Jurisdictions can send out notices, which also take up time and resources to resolve. So this is also something the dedicated account manager can assist with.
So we really appreciate you all joining us today for our coffee break. If you'd like to learn more, please visit our website at salestax.com. If you're interested in scheduling a consultation with us, check out this link at engagetax.wolterskluwer.com/sales tax consultation. Thank you.